Dripping just like sake. Tell them back about me. All about my cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, broccoli. That mean I be eating. Really catch me tweaking. Know that I be working, baby, even on the weekend. Dripping just like sake. Tell them back about me. All about my cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, broccoli.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Chuck Diesel, the Lone Wolf, and we're back for another episode of Sake Sundays, sponsored by Sake High, and also sponsored by God's Favorite Jewels. We have a gift for our guests.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I love it. Wait, do you know what this one is?
Actually, I'm lying. That's rose quartz.
Okay, see.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Okay, rose quartz. Okay.
I just knew it was pink.
I
I
was
had
gonna
another
say.
one that was like darker pink, like almost red.
Okay.
I was like, I have no clue.
It was either going to be carnelian or rose quartz, but it's very, I can't tell with the light, but it looks pink.
It's pink. It's pink. That one's pink. I don't know what cornelian means.
Okay. Carnelian.
What's that?
It's another stone, but it's like kind of reddish pink. More red than pink.
You have to look at it.
Oh, I like it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That brings us to our most important part of today's episode, our guest. But go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name's Steve. I'm a nurse, clinical hypnotherapist, and sound healer here in the LA area.
And how long have you been working in your industry?
I've been in the wellness space for almost 2 years. It's been like a solid year and a half, year and some change.
All right. And how long have you been in LA?
I've lived in LA for almost 4 years this fall. Yeah.
How do you like it?
I love it. I'm never leaving.
No, that's what I said. People are like, well, how is it? I was like, I mean, I don't want to leave.
It can go either way. It's really 50-50. I feel like some people come and they're like, I hate it. I can't stay here long term and I got to get out of here. Or they're like, I love it and I'm staying.
Yeah, I honestly, it's like, I can understand why people leave. But for me personally, it's like if I leave, there's nowhere else that I
don't want to go. I don't want to go back east. It's cold.
Exactly.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I live here.
I left the snow for a reason.
Exactly.
Well,
Where on the East Coast from?
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, oof. Yeah.
It's freezing.
I'm from Boston and I'm just like...
Yeah, no, especially by the water. No,
it's
the
a
wind.
different type of cold.
That's one thing I feel like you don't understand until you feel it. Like the wind hurts. Your face
burns.
Like,
and it feels like your nose is going to fall off.
Yes, your ears hurt.
So I was a nurse and it didn't matter if it was a snowstorm or not. State of emergency.
You had to be outside.
I had to shovel my car out before work every shift.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like I lived in Washington first, right? And I moved in January. And so like it got to be February. And I was like, bro, this is about to be the end of the winter. There's no snow. It snowed. They canceled school. People were not going to work. The snow was gone by noon.
Oh, that's crazy.
I said, what is this? This is the worst. Like, sign me up.
Get me out of here. This is it.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go back to Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, this is the winter?
This is it.
Every year?
I'll do that.
Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. Yeah. What brought you out to LA?
So, funny enough, this is actually a really interesting story in my opinion. My mom says I've been talking about LA since I was a kid. I had never visited. I had never been to LA, but she was like, you always said you wanted to live in LA.
That's funny.
I don't remember this really, and I don't remember it up until high school. I remember like maybe watching Laguna Beach and being like, oh yeah.
Even thinking about anything about LA, yeah.
But she said it was even before that. But I knew I wanted to do that, and so I was in nursing school and I was still in Massachusetts, and I was like, as soon as I'm done, I'm moving out to LA. But then I met a significant partner and I told him from jump, I was like, listen, as soon as I'm done with nursing school and I get a few years of experience under my belt, I'm out of here, I'm going to LA, are you coming with me? And he said, bet. Fast forward 7.5 years later, I never left because he didn't want to ultimately.
What? 7 years? That's a long time.
Yes. And at the end of the relationship, like literally, I made the decision 3 months later that I was moving to LA. So I got a travel nursing job, came out here that fall following our breakup, and I've been up
This
here
was
since.
2020?
This was 2021.
All right.
Fall 2021, I moved out here. And I had made the decision in like February 2021. I was like, I'm moving.
Oh, that's crazy. 7.5 years to be gone in 3 months.
I was like, bye.
Big ups to you for being patient.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I'm not the patient type. Like,
really?
You see, I didn't plan to move to Washington. Kind of how you were saying you didn't plan to move to LA, but you were there. Yeah. I was like, I'm visiting. Well, I guess I should stay. Yeah.
Oh no, I had this in my mind for like years, and I'm just so happy now. And it, like, when I got here, I was like, it finally felt like I was home.
Feels right.
I was like, this feels so right. There's a reason why little D wanted this so badly.
You're like, so much I didn't even know.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And so you came out here as a traveling nurse, so you were already working in the health space.
Yeah, so I did that for about 2 years here, and I towards the end of like, so it was like year 2. I was starting year 2 here as a nurse, and I was just like, I'm making amazing money. I love my life. I live in a nice apartment. This is so cool, but something's missing. And it wasn't like I wanted a significant partner. I was living my best single life. Like, I really loved it, and I was just really happy, but I just felt off. And it was a friend of a friend that reached out to me on Instagram and was like, I've been watching your journey, your healing journey, and you've been posting about it. And I know you went through this like breakup with your ex-fiance, and I'm kind of going through something similar, and I wondered if you could help me through it. And I was like, yeah, give me a call. And so we just started talking here and there randomly and sporadically. And it was at the end of like a couple months in that she said something that like completely changed the trajectory of my life. And she was just kind of like, D, I don't know if you know this, but like these last few months of us just talking to each other, I don't know if you've known how much of an impact you've had on my life and how much you've changed my perspective and blah, blah, blah. And she just started saying all these things. And I was like,
where'd this come from?
I was like, we were just talking. Like, I wasn't really doing anything. And to hear her say those things, it made me like think. And I was like, if I can have that much of an impact on one person, how else can I be of service? How else can I help other women going through similar things? And so I started off my wellness career kind of in the coaching industry, kind of like women's empowerment. And I had been seeing a hypnotherapist for a while. And so I started to see how much our brains really perpetuate our reality. And I was like, well, I really want to help people in a very impactful way. So I went and got my hypnosis certification and then got my sound certification. And then I just started combining all of it together. And here we are.
Oh, it sounded like the beginning of this whole journey was starting your own wellness journey, essentially.
Absolutely.
And then through your experience, sharing that with someone.
Absolutely.
Catapulted you into realizing just by speaking, I can be of change.
Yeah.
So what if I actually did that on purpose?
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. It was kind of like it fell into my lap, and I was like, oh, I made a difference in that way in one person's life. Well, if I actually apply myself, I can help change a lot of lives.
Yeah.
Why not?
What were the first starting steps to your own healing journey?
Oh, how did I start? I think it started towards the end of my relationship. I realized like I was broken. I was so broken, and I really felt like I had lost myself in that relationship. And I was just like grasping at anything to kind of give me a sense of like regulation within my own body. I just felt so out of control of my life, of myself, of who I was. And I started, honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but it was this journal. It was called the 5-Minute Journal. I picked that journal up, and it was like writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. And then it was 3 things that you'd like to achieve, I think it is. And then at the end of the day, you go in and say 3 things that went well. And I just started doing that consistently. And I had been journaling before, but obviously throughout the relationship, I kind of lost myself. So I wasn't doing that anymore. But that 5-minute journal catapulted me into like a whole different lifestyle. And I started waking up earlier. I started going for more walks. And even though I was active, like I had gained a lot of weight in the relationship. So it was like, I started actually applying myself more in my workouts, and it just slowly but surely I started habit stacking and reading more books about like wellness and spirituality, and it just it was like a snowball effect, and just one thing piled into another.
That 2 things I want to touch on. One of them is something you wanted to talk about is the importance of regulating your nervous system. And so you said just even feeling like supported within your body and then regulating yourself physically, how you felt, but then also spirituality and how that also helped everything lead you to where you are.
Absolutely. So nervous system regulation, like I don't think people understand how much it plays a role in your day-to-day life. If you're in complete dysregulation, you can't get anything really done.
Exactly.
Like, you can't focus, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're overreactive. And it might not seem like overreactivity. It's just that your tolerance for stress is so small because your nervous system is so dysregulated. And so for me, it was about trying to learn how to get my body out of that fight or flight.
I was literally, that's what was at the. I was like, sometimes it's because you're in fight or flight and you don't realize it.
You don't
so you're
realize
reacting
it.
to everything like it's a fight.
That's exactly what nervous system dysregulation is. It's when your body and your mind are stuck in this fight or flight, even if there's no imminent danger.
Right. But you're waiting for it.
You're on edge. You're constantly in that like survival mode.
Yeah.
And when you're in survival mode, you can't create. You can't think.
I was literally just thinking of things. You can't think.
You can't think.
Yeah.
Your body is programmed. It's like when you're in front of a bear, your body, if you were in front of a bear, or I told you to sit down and close your eyes and visualize being in front of a bear, and the bear's coming at you to attack, your body
knows what that is like.
Knows what that's like and knows to kick into fight or flight. So whether there's imminent danger or not, your body can get stuck in that fight, flight, fawn, or freeze state. And that's why nervous system regulation is so important. So I started doing meditation and breath work. And it sounds so cliche, but those things really do help
make a difference
over time. Get your body out of fight or flight. And it also helps you expand your resilience and your tolerance to stress.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like some people might be like, how or what or why? And I'll just say that when it comes to doing mindful breathing or doing meditation, you're training your body to relax. Mm-hmm. And so even if you are in that fight or flight mode, you're going to be consciously trying to relax out of it. And so over time, you become more familiar with what it feels like to tense up. Mm-hmm. So you can remind yourself to drop the tension. Exactly. It's not just going to make you, oh, yeah, I meditated, so I don't get tense. Yeah. No, it makes you mindful of when you are tense. So you can ask yourself, what is making me do this? Why do I feel this way? And how can I alleviate it? Because the fight or flight mode is there for a reason.
Exactly.
It's just we turn it on sometimes. It's like having like a high volume water hose on 24/7. Mm-hmm. Every situation is going to get doused. Mm-hmm. This might just be a 4-ounce little thumbnail that needs to be filled up. Yeah. You're over pouring and over giving to situations. It might not even necessarily be negative, but because you're dysregulated, you're putting 100% of energy into a task that is only 20% of importance. And if that one task doesn't go right, everything's wrong.
Exactly.
Because all of your fight was in that 20% worth of a task.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And it's crazy how like, I think what the confusion was with people when they hear like, oh, I meditated or I did breath work, and people like to roll their eyes at that. It's like meditation, I want to dispel the stigma with meditation. It's not about completely silencing the mind. That's not what meditation is about. Meditation is a discipline act, and it's a practice of discipline. And so it's being able to sit with yourself. And if distractions are to arise, if thoughts do come up, because a lot of the things people say is, I can't get my mind to shut off. I'm not trying to meditation's not to get you to shut your mind off. It's for you to develop the discipline to, if a thought arises, if some type of distraction does occur, can you guide your awareness, guide your attention back to your breathing? Let that distraction coexist with you.
Right.
Notice it, but don't attach to it, and don't allow yourself to spiral with it. That's the practice of meditation, is witnessing and then releasing the attachment and bringing it back to your awareness of your breath. And I think that is a good way to start for a lot of people where they're like, I can't meditate. Meditation also isn't just sitting down with your legs and crisscross applesauce and oming all evening. You know, meditation can be a practice of art. A lot of people like to create art with their hands. That's meditation. You're focusing on the task at hand, which is creating your artwork. You're breathing. You're pouring your energy into it. That's also meditation. Walking is meditation. You're focusing on putting one foot in front of the other, noticing the things around you.
It becomes more about intention over the action.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't remember where I heard this, who said it, but it was saying that to the trained, life is meditation. Mm-hmm. All actions are meditation. Once you actually immerse yourself in the idea and let go of a preconceived notion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm meditating all day, every day. Everything I do is a meditation, whether it's going for a walk with my dog in the morning or actually sitting down and doing a session where I'm sitting down and actually focusing on my breath and doing meditation, or if it's writing in my journal.
Oh, what are some of the easiest ways or like the quickest ways that you could tap into your nervous system and begin to regulate it?
I think breath work. Honestly, I think I used to have severe anxiety, depression growing up, and I wish I had the tools that I have now then. Just breath awareness in and of itself. Your breath is a direct link to your nervous system. It's the quickest way for you to regulate because what you're doing is manipulating the depth and the rate of your breath in order to send neurotransmitters throughout the body and your brain to induce that relaxed state. So if you can consciously control your breathing, you're consciously regulating your nervous system.
And so what I'm hearing partially is your breath is related to your emotion.
For sure.
And if you can control your breath, you can begin to regulate your emotional state.
Absolutely. Of course. That's why if you're in an argument with someone, before you react, take a deep breath so that you're able to respond and not react.
Oh, and another thing I like to say is like, as an example to how being tense or not breathing affects emotion is like people will say, if you're on the East Coast and it's like, that made me tight. You know what I mean? It's like literally
Tight.
You got tight. Like
you got
your
tight.
chest tensed up because you went to fight.
You went to fight or flight. You were ready to respond.
If you don't go physical, your mouth is fighting for you. So if you take that breath for a second, you're going to think like, why am I even about to respond this way? And what is my intention with the response? If I want an argument or a fight, okay.
Exactly.
But am I just responding like this because my body is full of tension and it knows this is an intense situation?
Exactly.
Sometimes we just train ourselves to react to that feeling in a certain way.
That's the problem is a lot of people are walking around reacting to things rather than responding. There's a big difference.
No, for sure. And I feel like a lot of us don't ask ourselves after the action or during, why this action?
Oh, of course. But that comes with self-awareness, right? If you aren't practicing the act of being self-aware, you could walk through life. A lot of people walk through life that way, completely unaware of how their reactions are kind of like a domino effect almost, and not thinking about how they've contributed to a certain scenario.
That part is like, you were part of the situation as well.
Like, it's not just one person here.
Everyone working towards.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because I was listening to someone's post earlier today about, he posts a lot of controversial information. He's a spiritual member in the community, and he said something about like narcissists and how about 1% of the population are actually narcissists. So all the women out there who assume their exes are narcissists, I hate to break it to you, more than likely your ex probably wasn't a narcissist. Was he probably unhealed, unevolved, and needs a lot of work and healing? Sure, absolutely, 110%. Was he toxic? 110%. Did he manipulate you? Probably. However, what within yourself can you sit with and recognize that attracts that type of person? It takes a big amount of self-awareness to be able to sit with that realization and be like, how did I contribute to this? I'm not saying anybody deserves that kind of treatment, obviously not. But what within yourself, having the self-awareness to think about that for a second and stop and be like, what within me attracts that?
Or just simply, if I was able to observe this and how I felt about it, why did I continue to hold on to it?
Exactly. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But that comes with, again, being reflecting on yourself and what within you allows yourself to tolerate that.
No, 100%. Or to stay in a position that is like clearly not beneficial.
Exactly. It's all self-awareness though.
Is that, was the whole thing not beneficial? Or was there something that you wanted that made you stay there, or you felt like you were getting that
Exactly.
you thought you couldn't get somewhere else?
Exactly. But it comes down to having self-awareness, because a lot of people won't do that and they'll just chalk it up to the other person being a narcissist.
100%.
Just like on the receiving end, someone that's angry, they're like, oh, it was all them, like F that, F this. But it's like, well, how did you contribute to it?
Yeah. What did you do, say, respond?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like you have your story, their story,
And then the truth. Oh, I love that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, and I guess there's something I saw just recently. It was like two people could look at the exact same thing, but they see different things.
100%. I feel like I experience that a lot. Because I think it's become my job. I'm so like, I remember like when I used to be in therapy a lot, I remember my therapist being like, you are so self-aware. It's a blessing and a curse because you are psychoanalyzing everyone around you and yourself. So you notice and pick up on the littlest things, but then your interactions with people can be affected by that at the same time. So it's very interesting for you say that because it's like, how can you perceive something one way and the other person can't see it? And it's like so blatantly clear to you. It's been my challenge. I'm like, oh gosh.
100%. I feel like once you begin to be more aware of how you could be contributing, or just the fact that, all right, maybe the way that I did something was perceived wrong, you're going to try and rectify the misunderstanding. But sometimes they simply don't.
They just can't see it.
They don't. They don't want to either.
They don't want
like, they don't want to see it. Even if you're right, they're not going to tell you.
Absolutely not.
So I feel like that is part of the problem because you are coming from it with, all right, things can change.
Yes.
When other people are coming from it, was like, no, just not that. Like, there's no and, there's no but, there's no or, there's no.
That's it.
And you're just like, whoa.
I'm like, it's so hard. Like, blessing and a curse.
You gotta learn to just walk away. And I'm saying this because I also had the same problem.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm looking at a situation and I can understand this is not going well. Yeah. But it can change.
It can, absolutely.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
I'm open to talking about it.
Self-awareness.
And you become the punching bag for someone else's ill intentions. Exactly. And you're just like, well, how did it get here?
Exactly. I get it. So a lot of people just tend to forget that, like, your subconscious mind is, if you think about your conscious waking thoughts, right? Your emotions, your feelings, how you move through life, 95% of that is controlled by your subconscious. I would listen to it. Absolutely. Thank you. 95% of that is controlled by your subconscious mind. And so if you think about your subconscious, your mind in general, as like an iceberg, right? The tip of the iceberg, what you see when you're on the surface level of the water, is your conscious mind, your conscious waking thoughts, your inner critic, whatever that is. And then I don't know if you know what an actual iceberg looks like. It's much bigger than it appears on the surface. Because on the surface, it looks like this, like a little, pretty big rock, it's a brick of ice. But underneath the surface level of the water, icebergs are actually massive. And that I like to compare to the subconscious mind, which makes up about 95% of your behavior, your feelings, your actions that you take, the decisions that you make. It comes from your subconscious mind.
I knew it was a lot.
95%.
I didn't know it was over 90%.
95%.
I thought it was like 75.
Nope, 95%. So if you think about it, your subconscious mind, if it's programmed between the ages of 0 to 11, sometimes they say up until like 14, but 0 to 11, that is all the programming that you've learned. Mm-hmm. And it's deeply embedded within you. So moving forward through life, it's the younger version of yourself that's driving the bus. Until you become consciously aware of that and start healing some of the things that you learned that might not be the healthiest, those limiting beliefs, until then, you're kind of allowing the younger version of you to run your life, which is insane. And a lot of people don't realize that. So that's why these people that aren't as self-aware are running around having these conversations and not being able to fully see the whole picture, because it's the younger version of themselves that's riding the bus. So that trigger response happens and they're just automatically responding and reacting from that space.
I think the crazy part is, like, I know for a fact people can look at situations and realize that the bigger picture is still there, but then they just hold on to however they did behave and the fact that they're allowed to behave that way.
I think you're giving people too much credit because some people don't see it.
At all.
Some people don't see it at all.
I'm like, dog, like, how is that ever going to work?
For you, because you do the work, you're consciously aware, it's like common sense, right? It's like
you can't cuss somebody out and then expect to still be able to be friends with their friend. Like certain things is, I don't know.
But some people aren't, they're programmed, they're running from a program.
And I was like, it's fine if you say you don't care.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have really thought that things were gonna stay like, I don't know.
People
Maybe
are
you're right.
operating- No,
Them-
people are operating from a younger version of themselves. So until they become aware of this,
They don't even see the other
they can't
parts
even
playing
see-
together.
No, they can't see.
I guess that's my homework. Take another step back.
See it from a bird's eye view.
With the fact that over 90% of the subconscious or your actions and behaviors are dictated by the subconscious, it's like, what are you supposed to do with that information? How do you like take control?
Reprogram. And that's where hypnosis is a massive play in that. Meditation's a massive play in that. It's about first just at least having the awareness of that and being open to the fact. Because it's not easy to admit like, oh shoot, like the younger version of me has been running my life for the last 20
I've been acting like a child.
I've been acting like a child. But it's not necessarily that you've been acting like a child. It's just like your natural automatic responses to things. So like take for example, you grew up being told that, you know, you can't do this or else you're going to take the attention away from your siblings. You can't do that. Don't be too loud. Oh, no, don't show that off. It's too much. That turns into the people pleaser. That turns into the young woman or the man who keeps quiet, doesn't pursue adventures, doesn't pursue business ideas because they're afraid of being too big, afraid of being too much. And that mentality, that belief that was embedded in your mind as a child limits you in life. It limits you from taking leaps of faith. It limits you from speaking up at a meeting, at a conference, or whatever the case may be. That's how it shows up later in life. So it is like the younger version of you is running the show because that's the experience and the program that you have running in the background, therefore perpetuating this reality that you have. That you can't be too much.
Oh, are there any exercises you would give people that would help them start to explore?
To help you start exploring, I would just say a practice of asking yourself, is there something that I really would like to achieve? And if I haven't achieved it yet, why? What are the thoughts and the beliefs that are stopping me from achieving it? That's a good way to at least to start becoming aware of programs that might be embedded within your mind that are holding you back in life.
Oh, for sure. And then with stepping into the hypnosis side of things, first off, what got you interested in even experiencing it? Because I know for me personally, if I said anything about hypnosis to like some of my aunts or my mom, boy, yeah, you're funny. Like,
it's so funny because like I thought the same thing for a while. I was like, this is a bunch of BS. Like, please. The thing is, it's because there's a stigma, right? Like, hypnosis isn't swinging a pocket watch and like, I'm gonna make you very sleepy. That's not hypnosis. I'm not making people talk like a chicken or dance like Michael Jackson. That's not what we're doing. That's not hypnosis whatsoever. All hypnosis is someone or something guiding you into a very relaxed state of mind. It's a practice. It's a practice of guiding you into an altered brainwave state. So we're not swinging pocket watches. I'm not making anyone cluck like a chicken. But all hypnosis is guiding you into a trance-like state. It's like an altered brainwave state. So that practice is what hypnosis is. That altered brainwave state is trance, what most people will come to know as trance. And all trance is a state of your brainwaves where they slow down significantly. So you enter either alpha or theta brainwave state. And it's just where your brainwaves are slowed down. It's a naturally occurring state of mind. We all experience trance about 7 to 10 times a day.
I don't want to cut you off, but if that's the case, then how does it like affect you so quickly after the fact? Like,
what do you mean?
Like if someone, I guess I'm also going off of what I've seen, and people were like, all right, we're going to hypnotize you into not eating a certain food again. And then at the end of it, they're like, I've never eaten that food again.
So it's a process of guiding a person into trance. When you're in trance, your brain is highly suggestible. That is just a given fact. When your brain waves enter alpha or theta brainwave state, your brain is highly suggestible, meaning it's open to new beliefs, open to new suggestions, but it's also at a state where it has increased neuroplasticity, which is just the brain's ability to adapt and change. So if you're guided into a trance state and someone is implanting messages within your mind during trance, you adopt those belief systems, whatever it is that was embedded, as your own. And then once you're guided out of trance, the idea is that you move with whatever belief that was just planted into your mind. That's how trance works, or hypnosis works.
Honestly, my brain just went to music.
You really?
Yeah.
And because it is a way of hypnosis. If you think about it, brainwaves, frequencies, tones, right? That's why I always say be careful what type of music you
That's
listen to.
what I was thinking about. I'm like,
Think about how music affects you.
you said if your brain goes into one of those states and you go to sleep
Yes.
and then you're listening to music.
Yes. You know what's another very common time that you go into trance? When you're driving.
I believe you.
Because if you've ever driven a very familiar route and you get to your destination.
You don't know.
And you're like,
did I just black out for the last 20 minutes?
how did I get here? I don't even remember driving.
Did I stop?
Because you go into trance when you're driving. Trance, when you're driving, it's a subconscious program. Because when you're driving, you're not consciously thinking, to make this left turn, I got to slowly push down on the brake. Then I got to use my hands to turn the wheel. I got to turn the signal. You're not thinking of all those steps. That is a subconscious program embedded within the subconscious mind that allows you to move on autopilot.
That's so dangerous.
So that's why I tell my clients, be careful what you listen to in the car, because your mind is absorbing that and adopting it as its own belief system.
Yeah. No.
So I don't be listening to no ratchet music in the car anymore.
I was literally just thinking, like, God, you talk about like the state of the young people and just like the behaviors that they
Music
on a regular basis, like what's normal now is like, I mean.
What about doom scrolling? You're also entranced during doom scrolling. Think about all the things that we're looking at when we're scrolling on our phones.
I wonder, like, I know they've had to do monitoring research where they're monitoring people's brains while they're scrolling.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's like, all right, bet. They're able to be susceptible now.
Of course.
I don't know.
We all are. We all are. I mean, we're all...
It's just the fact that it's like known and studied.
Think about just random beliefs, like women in relationships are like, all men are trash. All men are trash. Do you really want to believe that? Because guess what's going to come out in your reality? You're going to experience men that are trash because you believe and you've ingrained within your mind the belief that all men are trash. So your reality is just going to continue to show you that.
Oh,
all men are trash.
And I think that's something to point out, though. Just like whatever you say or whatever you like
believe.
Yeah. You're going to find more evidence of that thing being true.
That's your brain doing its job. That's the power of the subconscious mind.
And I think that's something we all need to think about more, is to like say the things we want to see, so then our brain starts looking for the evidence of it.
That's your reticular activating system doing its job. I like to think of the RAS as like the bouncer to the club of your mind. It's like, think about when you're like going shopping for a car, like you really want that new Tesla or whatever, like whatever car it is that you really, really want. And you're thinking about that car and you're thinking about it. And all of a sudden, when you never used to see that car, for me, it's a Lucid. Like, I want a Lucid so bad.
Oh, so many people don't even know about the Lucid.
Nobody knows. And I had never even seen it before. And I saw it on an ad once and I was like, that's a really nice car. All of a sudden, I see them everywhere.
That's funny.
But that's my brain doing its job, perpetuating the truth that I believe. I want that car. I want that car. The car's going to start appearing to me everywhere I go. But that's how powerful our minds are.
So start telling yourself what you want.
Exactly.
And the things you want to see.
Exactly.
And then you'll see evidence of them being true.
Exactly.
Or at least ways to make them happen.
Exactly. It might not come the way you want it to come, but you'll start to see the evidence of it, like, surfacing within your life. Or the people around you.
Oh, let's see. Oh, burnout.
Oof.
Burnout, stress, and anxiety.
Oh,
with being mindful, those are the things that you're trying to avoid.
So that's what led me to leave nursing. Burnout, stress, and anxiety. I was working a lot. I was an overnight NICU nurse. I worked in the newborn ICU. I worked 12-hour shifts, sometimes 4 days a week. Usually the typical is like 3 days a week. But I was so burnt out. I was so exhausted after COVID. I was picking up all that overtime. And I was falling asleep on the road after work. Car wrecks.
Wreck?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. It was terrifying. And it got to a point where I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't. Like, it's just crazy how we allow our day-to-day lives to like run everything, our careers and what we think is supposed to happen or the next steps that society deems as appropriate. It can really cause a lot of stress in your life and lead to burnout. But if you can catch burnout early when it's just stress or just a little bit of anxiety, you can avoid burnout for the most part.
Oh, for sure. Oh, what do you think are some of the first, like, all right, I need to chill signs?
Irritability in and out of the workplace. If you're showing up to work irritable, or if you're like dreading going into work, that's a sign that like that play. And it, like most people, like let's be honest, most people dread going into work. That's a whole different story. Like you should be doing something else then. But for the most part, if you really have this like, oh, I really don't want to be doing this today, um, or you just have this increased sense of irritability and unable to like really control that, that's like telltale signs for sure. For sure.
Sure. With that, what are some ways to like mitigate the stress and anxiety before reaching burnout?
Regulating your nervous system. It always comes back to that, regulating the nervous system. I always suggest, there are so many apps out there that are amazing. I personally use Open. I love that app. It's amazing because it not only does it have breath work, but it also has meditation and it also has sound on there and it also has movement. So it's like a good little package of nervous system regulation tools that people can use at their hands. But if you don't have that, just finding moments to carve out for yourself, whether that's a 5-minute journal in the morning, literally sitting down for 5 minutes and jotting something down so you have the awareness, you have the moment.
You know where you are today.
Exactly. You know how you're feeling. You're tuning into your body really.
You're being mindful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So starting there and then finding little outlets for yourself is super important. And I think all workplaces, and if your workplace does not have like a wellness program, it needs it. And it's become so much more popular nowadays that companies are incorporating more wellness practices, especially through the insurance companies. If you look into your insurance through your employer, they have a lot of tools available to employees. So it's just important to like look for your resources, reach out, ask for help. There's so many resources out there.
Oh, one thing which you just said inside of the app is that they have physical and like movement things. I feel like a lot of people will talk about breathing or meditating, but you can do things that just get your nervous system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Physically,
Yeah.
moving your body is like, even if it's like, I have a client who gets like really tense sometimes in the office, and I'm like, not even 2 minutes of just shaking your
It's gonna
body
shake it up.
is going to shake out whatever tension that you've been holding within your body. And by the time I'm like, play your favorite song in your office, shut the door, and shake it out. Just shake it all out of your body. Like, shake your hips, shake your legs, like just shake. It looks weird. You feel weird doing it. It's kind of goofy, like whatever. Nobody's looking at you. But afterwards, she's like, oh, thank you. I needed that.
No, yeah.
It's so helpful.
And again, it goes back to the breath and getting to the brain, because the blood moving is going to take the oxygen
Yes,
through your body
exactly.
to your brain.
Exactly.
Oh, now you can think clear.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you're loose too.
Exactly. Your nervous system's regulated. You're not in fight or flight. You can think clearly. You can respond to people without reacting. It's all interconnected.
No, 100%. And we haven't talked too specifically on sound and how sound can be incorporated to help with all of this.
Yeah. So I have found sound healing to be incredibly therapeutic, not even just for me, but for other people as well. And the frequencies that are emitted from instruments in a sound bath, typically most people use sound bowls, whether they're frosted crystal bowls or they're alchemy singing bowls or Tibetan singing bowls. The majority of these instruments nudge your brain waves into that trance state. And the frequencies emitted also vibrate within your body at a cellular level. I don't know if a lot of people know what it looks like when sound manipulates water. But if you could only imagine, if your body is 60 to 80% water, if you could just imagine what your cells look like inside of your body after a sound bath, it's like...
For people who don't know, if you play certain sound and look at water under a microscope when it happens, it'll take different forms and different shapes and different... If you use words, different words, like if you say mean or bad, the sound is going to shape more angular and rigid. And if you say like calm, peaceful, serenity, the sounds are going to be more curvy and free form and flowy. And then you can literally take sound and make shapes, and not just shapes in the water, but the water will move in different patterns, or it'll be
so cool.
circular beads. And then the circular beads will start turning in. I can't even put it.
I know what you're talking about.
You have to see it. You have to see it. It's like the first time I saw it on
cool.
video, I was like, and somebody was like, "Oh wow, they're moving electromagnetic." He was like, "No, there's no electricity. It's just the sound vibration off of what they're playing."
Guys, whenever you have time, go on Google or YouTube and type in how sound manipulates water and just watch.
You'll watch it for 10 minutes straight.
It's so incredible.
Yeah. And so continue.
But yeah, so
the sound will make the water take different shapes.
So if you think about that, and the frequencies and the vibrations that are emitted from sound bowls in a sound bath, think about what that looks like on the inside of your body. If we're 60 to 80% water, humans, we're made of 60 to 80% water. Imagine how much that changes you at a cellular level. And so sound has been known to help. It's a very ancient healing practice. Like before complex medicine, there was sound, right? And there were herbs. So dating back, I don't know, even before ancient Egyptian times, people were using different instruments to help heal the body, whether it was pain or mental, physical ailments. They were using instruments to help heal. So why don't we do that now?
Yeah. And so continue.
But yeah, so
the sound will make the water take different shapes.
So if you think about that, and the frequencies and the vibrations that are emitted from sound bowls in a sound bath, think about what that looks like on the inside of your body. If we're 60 to 80% water, humans, we're made of 60 to 80% water. Imagine how much that changes you at a cellular level. And so sound has been known to help. It's a very ancient healing practice. Like before complex medicine, there was sound, right? And there were herbs. So dating back, I don't know, even before ancient Egyptian times, people were using different instruments to help heal the body, whether it was pain or mental, physical ailments. They were using instruments to help heal. So why don't we do that now?
Oh, you just brought up something. You're talking about ancient Egypt and sound. I don't know if you know or can chime in. I don't know. I was reading a book, and it was speaking of the pyramids being sound chambers.
Sleep temples.
And that people would be in them, and they would use the sound to help them transmute.
Sleep temples. I studied that.
Really? But it was saying they would, like, essentially, I guess the easiest way for me to equate it in my mind is like the ascension of a yogi or a Buddha and reaching a certain level of enlightenment at the end of the journey. And they would essentially speed the process up by using sound.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. So this actually also involves hypnosis. This hypnosis dates back to ancient Egypt as well. And in the sleep temples, they would use hypnosis, sound, whatever the case may be, to heal or transmute. So if someone was sick, they'd be like, I bet, go into the sleep temple, and it was a pyramid, whether it was sound or hypnosis or whatever the case may be, they'd come out healed. Which I think is just so fascinating to me, because I think we nowadays heavily rely on medicine.
No, definitely.
Drugs to mask what's really going on underneath, like mask the nervous system that's dysregulated, mask the root cause of why you have these symptoms, because medicine and drugs and all these prescriptions that doctors are giving us are only treating the symptom. It's not fixing the actual problem that's causing the symptom. So if they were using it back in ancient Egypt, like I don't think I'm like too good to give it a try.
For me, I was just like, what?
Crazy, right?
Sound. All right. A whole chamber? Why am I just now having this idea even presented? Like I had graduated college already.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, we didn't even talk about ancient Egypt after high school.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. And the name of the book was called Rhythm Alchemy.
Rhythm Alchemy.
And I thought it was about, let's see where I'm at,
making
music. Like, I was like, we're about to figure out how to get in it. Like, every song is going to be a slapper. And I started reading, and it's like,
I'm in Egypt.
Right. It just started talking about Atlantis. And I'm just like,
what is this?
What does this have to do? And it started with history, and then it went to math. And then it got to vibration. And then I was like, all right, bet. Vibration is sound. Yeah. And then it took me to tempo. And I was like, bro, like, where are we going? Yeah. This cool. Doesn't make sense, but I'm tracking. Yeah. And so now that I understand, like we were just saying, that sound makes things take shape and has a bigger effect than what we see with our physical eye. I'm like, there's some truth to it.
Absolutely.
But I didn't study it, so I'm just like, bro.
It's so fascinating to me. I love it because, again, it goes back to, like, being careful what you listen to. And if you pay, like, even for me, like, I'll admit, I like a good ratchet song, okay? Like, like, back in the day.
Silly.
You know, like, but I started being mindful of, like, what I was listening to and changing the type of music. Even, like, the sad, depressing, like, love songs. Like, even stop listening to music like that and just limiting it. Like, I won't stop listening to it completely, but, like, limiting that type of music will change you. I feel like a completely different person, and I'm not saying it's all because I changed what I was listening to, but it does contribute to it. Because if I go a stretch and I start listening to an album on repeat that I know probably for my mind isn't the best, I can see it in the way I move, in the way I think, in the way I feel.
No, for sure. Yeah. It's kind of like being on a diet. It's like you can still eat other foods.
Oh, of course.
But if you eat French fries and burgers and pizza
consistently,
you're going to feel different than if you were eating salad and fruit and just drinking water.
Exactly.
So, and it just gives your brain more to think about. I just think about it like this. Like, if I had a friend who was telling me their sad problems all the time and I'm empathizing, when it comes time to do something else, my brain is still in empathy mode or like with my friend.
You're a tribe.
And not even just that, it's the conversation,
the energy. You're
and so you might not be trying to go hang out with your family after hearing, but your brain and your emotion was in that moment. So now you have to take that off.
Exactly.
And it's just adding another layer. And my whole point with this is if I'm listening to Dirk's album and it's about, you feel me, the pain of the city, and that's all I'm listening to.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel a certain type of way because that's where my brain is at. That's the story that I'm thinking of. Like, and when you listen to stuff, like our brains are more visual than we give it credit for because we're not thinking about the images we're seeing.
Yeah.
But you're looking at what you're hearing as well.
Exactly.
So you're just going to have a harder time of actually adjusting to what's in front of you and responding to that. Because your emotional state is elsewhere.
Exactly.
Just because of the emotional state of the artist you were listening to.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But again, power of the mind, right?
Yeah. And the subconscious.
Yes, exactly.
Like you said, when you're driving, we're not. Sometimes the radio just came on and you're just nodding along. And then you're like, damn, I miss her. No, you don't.
No, you don't. It's the story.
The feeling that just came up reminded you of the feeling you felt when you missed her.
Yeah.
So now it's fresh in you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, and that does come down to being mindful.
Exactly.
And being able, and that's why meditation is important because when you are meditating, you're going to have thoughts pop up. And it's a matter of being able to pick what thought train continues.
Exactly.
It's like you can get on any train at any stop.
Yes.
But how long do we keep going down the wrong way before we get off?
Exactly.
With meditating, especially if you're someone with a super active mind, you every 3 seconds.
That used to be me. I can't even. So it's so hard to like conceptualize the fact that I meditate. I can meditate for hours.
Yeah.
I can sit down and meditate for the longest I've ever meditated is 2.5 hours straight. I don't even know how I do that. It makes no sense to me, but I think over time it's become innate now. But like ADHD, hello, like a squirrel. I'm like squirrel.
No, yeah. I feel like even a person who doesn't have ADHD, once you attempt to actually be quiet, you're like, did I turn that off?
Oh, I have a list of groceries that I need to
What's in my pocket? They told me to breathe into my body. This shirt is uncomfortable. Like, it's going to happen. And just like that. It seems like I'm saying it fast, but your brain is going to say it like that. But then you'd be like, wait, the shirt doesn't matter. I can shop later.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep breath. All right.
Inhale.
Then you start learning how to quiet the thoughts that aren't important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was saying, like, I had built a meditation practice. And at first it was because of a class. Mm-hmm. So I had no choice to either do it or pretend to. So it's like, I'm gonna do it because I have to. And then it built into, let me adapt this and see what I can do. And then I fell off the wagon. Yo, 5 minutes? I was sitting there like, it's a bit, I'm looking at the phone, it's been 3 minutes. I'm like, dang, dog. Like, we used to do this for a whole hour. Like, even in my personal time, I've gotten 20 minutes without even looking before. Like, wow. And you just realize, like, all right, bet. There is no perfect. Every day, there's going to be a different level of focus to different things.
Exactly. And I'm not meditating for 2.5 hours every day. Like, that was the longest I've ever done that. The most I'm doing on a daily is like anywhere between 5, sometimes even 3 minutes to 30 minutes.
And sometimes just 3 minutes makes a big difference.
It does.
Especially if you're like, you have a lot to do, or you've already been doing a lot. If you let me stop everything,
close my eyes, and connect with my breath.
And then you're like, wow, I feel like I just took a nap.
Literally.
All I did was breathe.
Literally.
Yeah, no, it is crazy.
I wish, I really want them to start teaching these skills in schools, in grade schools, because these are lessons that we should be taught young. Like, I think if every school taught meditation, we'd be living in a different world.
Oh, definitely. Partially just because people would think before they acted and responded. So the responses would just be more palatable.
Yes.
And more easily, like, you wouldn't have crash outs.
Yeah.
There'd be way less crash out activity and behavior.
Exactly.
If people just took 2-3 seconds, because you think about not only how I feel, but what is the future trajectory, the future outcome, and what do I want?
What do I want?
It's like, what do I want out of this situation?
Exactly.
If I know I still have to drive this car later, I'm not going to run it into, you feel me? Like, you on the internet, you see somebody get in an argument and try to hit somebody in the car, end up crushing a brick building.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, you just ran your car off the road because they said something. Like, insurance, do you own that? Is that all of the repercussions, $50,000 because of one slick comment? So yeah, just stuff like that would go differently if we just realize, like,
I wonder what
that feeling right there.
Yeah.
Last time I felt that, I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take a breath before reacting.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I'm about to scream, but I really want to cry.
Yes.
I'm not mad at all.
I'm not mad at all. It's actually fear.
That part. Where I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So instead of being hurt, I'm going to be angry.
Yeah.
Because at least I can palate them seeing me angry.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't want nobody to see me cry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. It would be incredible if more people could learn the practice of meditation and being mindful.
I feel like it starts with, like you were saying, the conversation and just opening up and having. Because I know for me, partially, I'm the type of person that if you tell me something and it's beneficial, if I'm given the opportunity to experience it, I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, I can leave it here.
Exactly. And it's like not everything is going to be for everyone. Like, you might try breathwork and you might hate it. You might try meditating and you might hate it. But like, there are so many different routes that you can take within this space to like find what works for you. But just have an open mind. And a lot of people think like, I hate the stigma that this isn't for Black people. Like, I hate that. And I'm like, how do you think the 1% are the 1%? Ask the 1%. I'd ask the 1%. They're meditating. They're visualizing, they're manifesting, and they're breathing. I can guarantee you that.
Well, something you said earlier about breathing just made me think about the fact that in the beginning, God breathed his breath into creation. So it's like, if that was the all spark for it all, how is that not going to take some precedent in us now? It all started with the breath, so maybe the breath is more...
Think about this. Life starts with breath, and it also ends with breath.
The last breath you take.
So just think about how powerful that is.
Yeah. And the fact that we all know what happens when we stop breathing.
Exactly.
So what happens when you breathe better?
Exactly.
And then also something I think is crazy is because one thing, so we did a guided sound bath before this episode, and you told me to breathe, and then you told me to feel my breath later after the fact. Once I had stopped thinking about it so much, the breath was different. And I took a deeper breath. It was faster. So channeling your actual energy, because if you're not breathing properly, or you're tense, if my chest is tense and my shoulders are tight,
You're not taking a deeper breath.
and even if I am taking a big breath, it's still not reaching the right places. And so the energy, the power, I'm not able to lift as much or move as wide because I'm not using the breath to support my movement.
Exactly.
As soon as I start breathing, even if you look at football players and ballerinas, I use them because balance is like so much the core.
But where does it come from?
It's supported by breathing. Because when you breathe right, the limbs function right. Like, if your breath wasn't there, you're not going to be able to hold your body and support it in weird like stances and all over because you don't have the grounding.
Exactly.
Like you're not using your body properly. So the
Exactly.
breath helps you support the body. Oh yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, any conversation you want to have about wellness and sound or meditation or things that aren't medicine, I'm all for it because I'm like,
it's not talked about.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
I talked about it enough. Yeah.
And it relates to everything.
All of life.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. It's really weird because it's not talked about. I feel like that's why I'm like, why don't we talk about it?
It should be talked about. It's like, it is 2025. The stigmas of Black people and mental well-being, men and mental well-being, workplace mental well-being, it's done. Like, it's time to start talking about it.
Yeah, especially if you're somebody who wants to figure out, like you were saying, like, look at them. And if that's what you aspire to be, you have to start adapting the practices.
Exactly.
Or at least figure it, try.
Or at least try.
Yeah. You can't knock it if you
can't
want
knock
to
it.
change.
Exactly.
Like, if you want to change, you have to do something different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if you continue the same path that you've been on, the same cycles, your life is going to continue to be the same. You're going to get the same results. You can't get different results with the same actions.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't take one shot of sake yet.
I don't really drink, to be honest. I want to sip.
Hey, this one.
I want to sip, a baby sip. Okay.
It's only like 10%. It's not shot.
Okay. Cheers.
No, we've already gone for almost an hour.
That's a good sake.
It is. I feel like I always get good ones.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Super subtle.
Smooth.
Mhm.
It's
dangerous. It's dangerous.
I have another.
Yeah. And the sake hive, theirs is even better.
Wow.
It's like slightly sweeter, but it's not sweet.
That just took me back to college.
For real?
Sake bombs?
I had never tried sake until like.
Did you do sake bombs in college? Sake bombs.
lit.
Oh my
No,
god.
I always wanted whiskey. Give me
man.
Jack on ice.
We go to the Chinese
Coke.
restaurants. We go to the Japanese restaurants. We sit there and we do sake bombs in the back. Oh my god.
Where did you go to school?
Drexel in Philly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cultures. I was in the middle of a small town in Ohio. Like, the school was everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There weren't even
Oh, we
Asian
were doing sake bombs in college. It was a lot of fun.
It was a kid who was in my fraternity from New York. He was Asian from New York. His family owned the only Asian food spot that was nearby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Small
There was no sake bomb.
There was no sake bomb.
Traditional, and it wasn't like Chinese food. It was
Americanized Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
yeah. So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I was doing that in college.
That's why I had to come out here. You get me acquainted. What's been one of the craziest experiences that like you either saw during one of your events,
Oh,
or
man.
I feel like you have something in mind already.
I do, but I don't know if I want to say it. Okay, so this person, I don't know if they follow me or whatever. Nobody knows who this person is. I was facilitating an event, a class. I do hypnotic sound classes, and this person dropped in so deep. And I didn't know that they dropped in that deep. I can tell when people are dropped in pretty deeply. Some people snore. Some people will twitch or something like that. Or something, so it just looks like you're resting very peacefully. But I was cleaning up and I had these mats out with these cushions on them. And I went to go roll up one of the cushions and it was just saturated wet. And I was like, there's tea and water all over the place. So I'm like,
Benefit of the doubt.
Water. And I was like, I know that smell. I'm a nurse. Urine everywhere.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
And two things I thought of. I was like, the poor thing. Because, A, she must have been so freaking tense. And then her body finally was able to relax so much that even her bladder relaxed. You know, like that's huge. And then B, I was like, I'm good at what I do. I'm so powerful.
I got adults in here going
Oh
to the back.
my goodness.
That's funny.
Oh, and medicine.
Huh.
She really needs to release that. I have an idea, but
There's no,
not
like-
for sure. No.
Yeah, bro. During, like I was saying, I did like authentic movement and stuff.
Mhm.
One time I just freaked out, like got super mad, like angry. Like I started crying and I got super pissed, like rage pissed. And I was embarrassed to go back in the room. Yeah.
Well,
So for her to
emotion came
right. But it was so strong. I was like, yeah, let me chill. Like, so to pee in the room full of people.
Well, nobody would have known. It was dark, you know, lights were off. Everybody got up and went their own ways. They left, they went home, and then no one would have known.
Kudos. Kudos to whoever it was to be able to make it out without anybody being like,
Good for her though,
maybe
because I'm
she's the
just
first
like,
one out the room. Like,
my heart goes out to her because it's just like, again, the tension her body must, and this, but like the relief of stress.
no, yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm glad that she was able to like fully relax because that's the only way that would have happened, right? Like, she
Right,
would have been
You holding on to nothing.
really relaxed and really loose, and her inhibitions were like completely just like
She felt safe.
safe.
Yeah.
Safe.
No, that is a powerful testament to
So-
the space and like
Mhm.
being able to facilitate that and hold the space for people.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can even make people feel comfortable.
Yeah. And I facilitated an event this past weekend, and I get the same, very similar comments every time. And it was just this woman, it was Saturday before Mother's Day, and she just came up to me and she was like teary-eyed, and she was like, I'm just so thankful. I have not felt that relaxed. She's like, and I've got kids. I have not felt that relaxed in the longest time. I don't even remember. And I was just like, my job is done.
Yeah, be able to give people a tool because
Yeah.
you can take that with you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like you might not have the same sound,
Exactly.
but the actual
Practice of allowing
mindful.
yourself to let go.
taking the breath. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was my embarrassing story for not on my end, but
what has been one of the biggest like eye-opening experiences for you?
eye-opening experience. A lot. I can't even like every single time I facilitate, I walk away thinking like, I can't believe I get to do this. I can't believe just like that comment that woman shared with me this past Saturday. It's just like literally every time I hold space, someone shares something like that with me, and it's just, I feel like it's a gift, truly, and I just want to share this medicine with as many people as I can. I never, ever in a million years thought I'd be sitting here telling you that this is what I do for a living. Like, I was a NICU nurse, die hard through and through. I ate, slept, breathed.
I save people's lives.
I literally was like, I saved babies' lives. And what? Like, I'll give you a perfect example of this. My trainer, shout out to Six Pack City. I love him so much. And when we met, it was like within the first 6 to 8 months of us working together, he was like, I know you're a nurse, but I don't see that for you. Like, you're meant for something different. Like, you're meant to be speaking on stages or doing something or modeling or acting. Like, you're not a nurse. And I looked at him, I was like, what, are you crazy? I was like, I'm a nurse. Like, I am going to be a NICU nurse forever. And then fast forward like a year from that, I started getting into this, and he was like,
Told you.
and I'll never forget that. I will never forget that conversation because I was so diehard. Like, I'm a NICU nurse. That's what I do for a living. I save babies' lives. I never thought I'd be doing this. So to know that I'm doing it now, like, that's why to me it's very authentic, and it's very like, it came to me. I didn't go looking for it. I did not ask for this at all, not in any way. I didn't go out being like, I want to be this cool sound healer and have my own business. Not at all. It fell into my lap, and I've just been listening to my intuition and putting one foot in front of the other, and it's led me to this. and I love it.
Oh, you said you started off just in like personal coaching. And then what took you from like, all right, I can help people by telling my story to developing your own business?
It kind of happened all at once. The coaching was the business. Like it became like I'm starting a women's empowerment coaching business, and it started there. And I called it D. Franklin Coaching, and that's how I started my practice. And then through time, I was like, if I'm making changes in this way just through talking to them, if I had actual tools I could implement, like hypnosis and sound healing, it'd be next level. And it's because it's what changed my life, right? Like I already knew how powerful hypnotherapy was. I already knew how powerful sound healing could be. So I was like, if just my words alone and providing guidance from my own life experiences is helpful, if I can use tools to add to that, why wouldn't I add more tools in my tool belt? So that's kind of like what led to the birth of my company, switching from solely coaching into what it is now, which is Omnolite.
And then were you already getting more familiar with sound while you were doing just the personal training?
Yeah, like I got my certification while I was just doing the personal training and got it in sound healing, and it kind of just evolved, especially almost a year ago now is when like the sound really started taking form within my business.
Oh, for somebody who is already established in a career, what are some things that you found where mental hemorrhages and blockages to be like stepping into this is mine and I'm the one who's in control and in charge of making sure it works?
In terms of creating something new away from like
being a nurse.
Child, hold on. Let me tell you something. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. And I did it like blindly. It's not like me. I'm very type A. Like I need a plan. I need a structure. I need an outline. The transformation that happened within me as I was going to hypnotherapy and sound healing led me to the decision of quitting nursing and jumping in blindly into this world without no plan or anything like that. I do not recommend doing that, by the way. I don't recommend doing that, but I think it's shaped me into who I am today, and it makes me that much more of someone that can help guide others and help others, because I did it in the scariest, most earth-shattering way. If there's something that I like to tell people is if you want to really learn about yourself, become an entrepreneur, because that is the fastest, most intense personal development journey you're ever going to go on. It brings up old wounds, bad habits, belief systems, blockages, everything.
Like we were saying earlier is like, why am I staying in this type of situation?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. And then with choosing different actions, it's like, I want this to work. What am I doing though? Mm-hmm. Am I putting my time and attention into the parts that need to work?
Exactly.
Or am I putting, again, like I said, fight or flight, when you start paying too much attention to the wrong details?
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people will say the biggest thing that they learned by becoming an entrepreneur was their bad habits.
Yes.
And their worst traits.
And it's not just the worst traits and the bad habits, it's the limiting beliefs and the way that you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
That's what surfaced for me. Because I thought, I was like, I'm the queen of self-love. Like, I love myself. Well, there's some deep hidden belief systems that were buried in there that I didn't even know existed until I became an entrepreneur. About worthiness and being able to receive and abundance. And it wasn't until I started facing those things that I was like, okay, now I'll...
It was something that like made you realize that, wait, the problem is me and not believing it's possible.
I don't even like saying that the problem was me, because it wasn't me, really. It was
the belief system.
The belief system that I have been running this program since I was born, and I'm in my mid to late 30s now. So it's like, that's decades of my life that I had to rewrite, and that's easier said than done.
No, for sure.
So I don't look at it as like, and I don't want anyone to ever look at it like I'm the problem necessarily. I want you to look at it as like, this is what I was taught to believe. How can I shift that? and how can I make the conscious choice to believe differently so that I can change what my external reality looks like. And that's how I had to approach it. Because at the end of the day, I think personal development has gotten to a point where people can take it really far and it becomes like an obsession, because there's so many resources, there's so much advice, there's so many gurus out there, right? But it's a matter of tuning it all out and really thinking about, like, what is it that I can do differently for myself that works for me to create the life that I want? Because that's what it comes down to. Like, we are the creators of our external world. Like, you think it, you believe it, you create it at the end of the day. So for me, it was really fully, and I had always consciously known that, like, I was the creator of my reality, but it didn't really settle in until I realized the programs that were running in the background were perpetuating that same life that I continued to see. And it wasn't until I decided I wanted to shift it and actually continue to, and it takes consistent work. It's not like you decide and it's going to change the next day. It's deciding, and then a trigger comes up, and then remembering
that you made that decision.
And like, no, I'm choosing to believe differently. This does not have to be the story that I continue to tell myself. And then the more you do that, the more your mind will automatically, because you're creating a new neural pathway within your subconscious mind, your mind will automatically start to adopt the new belief, and it becomes your new norm.
No, for sure. Oh, I feel like we got into a whole lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of takeaways. And thank you for sharing
Absolutely.
your journey, your experience, the tips, and the new information.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, thank you for the sound bath. I'll put the details for how you guys can reach out to her, book something with her, and find out more about mindfulness, meditation, and sound and hypnosis. This has been another episode of Sake Sundays. Your boy Chuck Diesel, and
D.
have a good one.
Dripping just like sake. Tell them back about me. All about my cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, broccoli. That mean I be eating. Really catch me tweaking. Know that I be working, baby, even on the weekend. Dripping just like sake. Tell them back about me. All about my cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, broccoli.